Hello, fellow action figure collectors, toy enthusiasts, Marvel Legends seekers. I am the Inbox Collector, and there has been some big news, some big developments. So after my last video, which I must say a massive thank you for all your support, guys, I really appreciate it, and especially your comments and views. It's nice because I can get a general consensus of what everyone's thinking and feeling. So the Engine of Vengeance drama continues, because now we have an official sort of stance from the company, from Hasbro, which I think is a massive slap in the face. I wasn't sure where they were going to go with this, what they were going to do. I fully expected an extension, to be honest. Now, just to be clear, guys, so you're not, because I know some of you will see me as toxic and all the rest of it. Clearly, I'm just an action figure collector, and I'm just pointing out my views, but I'm certainly not toxic. Guys, just to be clear, I was not backing this project. I was never going to back something this extortionate in price, and I think that was basically, again, the general consensus. People felt this was a complete con. But Hasbro, Dan Yun has put on his Twitter, just speaking transparently, there won't be an extension to the early bird. So that means if you've backed this, you will not be getting the Robbie Reyes. So in road mode, you won't have a Robbie Reyes with your car. But you're still expected to pay that massive £350 price tag. He also goes on to say there will not be any reveals. So that means he is saying there will not be any reveals to the other tiers, because I know some of you guys are like, look, the value is basically all the tiers as well, which is not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be, this is worth £350, and we're like, ooh, wow, this is great. And then if you get to this number, there's going to be some extra tiers, and this is all extra value. It shouldn't be, it's £350 once we add all the tiers, and you've got to get to those tiers. Now, this FOMO idea, not this, they call it early bird, but FOMO idea, fear of missing out, that they tried to create, backfired. Someone actually asks him, hey, did you include Mexico's early bird sort of, people backing it? And he was like, yes, we did. And they also set up a website, like I said last week, in the middle of the week for Europe, and that still didn't get the backing. So guys, this is a massive slap in the face from Hasbro. Now, if you collect comics and read all the comics and you're a massive fan of this character, look, genuinely, sincerely, I'm not judging you if you want to back this. Do what makes you happy. I've said that before. But a lot of us feel that Hasbro have taken us for granted. It's pure greed. This is the feedback I got from my last little comments. It's kind of how I see it as well. Basically, we're just buying this stuff all the time, and they're just like, oh, they're charging more. For example, I do these video reviews on my, I'm a small channel that just reviews what I like to collect, basically. So these started off at £27 over here in the UK, and now we're getting to the point where these ones, I think this one and maybe Jean was as well, these are 30. I know the Mystique one that's due out is going to be £30, and there's a load of controversy around that as well. So they've put the prices up. And for all you guys that come at me and say, well, the price of oil's gone up and things like that, guys, if that's the case, why is Marvel Select able to do massive figures like this in not just any packaging, plastic packaging, and might I add, but this thing weighs a ton, and this is just £30. Now, I know that one's a bit older, so you might say, well, that's an older Marvel Select figure. Well, the new Apocalypse figure that was released by Hasbro for £45, Marvel Select are giving us a comic accurate version for £30. That's £15 cheaper, and not only that, I assure you it will probably be a lot larger in size. So the price of oil, that doesn't hold weight. I just think this is a massive kick in the teeth. He actually did send out another tweet, Dan Young as well, and he says that basically you still have 30 days to back it. Why is anyone going to back this now? Why would you back something when they've taken something away? But the bigger question here is, why did they decide not to continue and just say, look, we're going to keep this going, we're not making it an early bird anymore, we're just going to run this through? Because there's no money exchanging hands. You didn't have to pay by Friday. You have to the 1st of November to pay the price. That's when they take the money. So no money's exchanged hands. So it really made no difference whether you backed it straight away or backed it a day before, seconds before. This whole idea was just to create this fear of missing out, to try and get everyone to panic, and it basically backfired. And it's backfired, in my opinion, is an epic backfire. In other news, also, Mojo. You remember that Mojo series? I'll pop a picture up here. That pre-order that's not sold out yet, by the way. There's still plenty there if you want it. Well, hold fire. So some of us were saying at the time it should have been a Spyro instead of a Dazzler. We already had Dazzler on the Toy Biz Retro card. This is just a Dazzler with a different head sculpt and some different power effects. Of course, we've already got a perfectly good, still holds up, long shot. Look at that. The golden days when Toy Biz were making legends. If only they were still going, things may have been very different. So we were all saying, look, this set seems a bit pricey, but okay. You know, it's a nice, giant, large Mojo with, you know, better articulation, not better paint, might I add. And a micro Wolverine, because everyone needs one of them in their series. Well, some guy, apparently, according from Marvel, this has been leaked from marvelousnews.com. Some guy is walking around in his Walmart in the US and he stumbles across this. A Mojo on its own, singly packaged, priced at $42. Yes, there are several pictures up on that site. I encourage you to go have a look, marvelousnews.com. But basically, he's walking around, and I can't verify if this is just some sort of hoax just yet. It's the only one that's come up, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Someone else has posted up on Reddit as well. Posted up on Reddit this picture here of their Morph and Mojo stood together. Interestingly enough, when they did the review of this Mojo, it was pointed out the paint job on the Toy Biz one was far superior. They said, hey, this is just a prototype. We're going to be doing better paint on it. That's still to come. Turns out they never. If this is real, the Toy Biz one is far better painted than this one. Okay, yes, this one's definitely better articulation and better in size and everything else. But how do you feel about this? I need to know in the comments, because this is great if all you want is a Mojo, but Hasbro never said a word. I mean, were these meant to even be on a shelf just yet? I don't know. But Hasbro never said they were going to release this individually. So for all those people that have pre-ordered because they just wanted Mojo, never wanted a long shot, because they had a perfectly good Toy Biz one, and never wanted another Dazzler or a mini Wolverine, then this is another slap in the face from Hasbro. They are really having some sort of week. Of course, we've got Hasbro PostCon coming up this literally Friday. That's when the Marvel Legends stuff is being revealed. That's the thing that I'm going to be paying attention to. Interestingly, a Friday and not a Saturday. It's like they've been renegated. It'd be interesting to see what comes out of that. But this has been a crazy week, and I think people are starting to wake up to the fact. Now, all your big YouTubers that were saying you should back this Haslab engine, they've gone quiet. They are not saying anything. They're not condemning Hasbro for taking away this early, this Robbie Reyes figure and saying, look, this isn't right. Nope. They've chose to just move on to sports figures and whatever else and say nothing about this. And that's a shame, because basically, as a fan and a reviewer and someone who watches other people's videos and all that kind of stuff to try and find out what's going on in the world, you're telling people to back something, you're defending a company, and then when they go and do something like this, you say absolutely nothing. Well, on this channel, I don't believe in sitting on the fence. If I've got something to say or review, I'm going to say it. And I welcome you all to do so in the comments. Guys, until next time, good luck searching for that toy goat.